we pull into Main Street Station, I do ask that everyone please remain seated until we come to that full and complete stop. And now give me those two magical words, all clear. Once again, for your safety and the safety of others, we ask that you please remain seated. Not quite there yet, folks. We may have to back up, so please remain seated. Remain seated, guys. Remain seated. Do not step off the train for me, please. Remain seated. Guys, I need you to please remain seated. For everyone that listens, thank you very much. We need to back up. Alright guys, I guess we are all clear. Thank you for staying aboard when I asked you to. Have a great day.
Welcome aboard the Walt Disney World Railroad. We're about to take a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom, with stops along the way at Frontierland and Fantasyland. Sit tight and keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs well inside the train. We're leaving Main Street Station right now, so wave it goodbye. But if you stay on board long enough, like sooner or later, you'll be back.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
For an old conductor like me, there's no better place to ride the rails than the Magic Kingdom. By the way, we're traveling on pure steam power. This old locomotive is descended from the mighty trains that powered the golden age of steam. And just like me, it's a little old-fashioned. Now, where else can you travel from the charm of Main Street, USA to the untamed jungles of Africa, Asia, and South America? At the Magic Kingdom, anything is possible, and we're headed straight to the heart of Adventureland. It can get pretty wild in these parts, especially if you run into Captain Jack Sparrow. He's hiding out among those scurrilous pirates of the Caribbean. But whether you're boarding a boat for the Jungle Cruise or flying on Aladdin's magic carpets, when you visit Adventureland, bring an extra dose of bravery. As for me, I'll stay safe and sound right here aboard my train, if you don't mind. We've reached the wild west of the Magic Kingdom, Frontierland. This outpost is home to covered wagons, cowpokes, and country bears. And we've got our own mountain range of exciting adventures. You might catch a runaway mine train at Big Thunder Mountain, or hop on over to Splash Mountain and join Brer Rabbit for a 50-foot drop straight down into the Briar Patch. We've reached Frontierland Station, everyone, so sit tight until we come to a complete stop. If you're disembarking here, please carry your strollers all the way off the platform before you unfold them. That'll help make room for the new passengers joining us. Watch your step now. This is Frontierland Station.
As we enter Frontierland Station, everyone, I ask that you please remain seated until the train comes to a full and complete stop, and I have given you the all-clear signal. Once again, folks, please remain seated. Lift those seats until I give you that signal. Please remain seated, everyone. Please do not stand up at this time. Please remain seated. Remain seated, folks. Remain seated. All right, we're all clear. Meg, check your exit. All aboard.
Howdy, folks. If you're just joining us, welcome aboard the Walt Disney World Railroad. We're headed for Fantasyland and to Main Street, USA. Everybody stay seated and keep your hands and arms, feet, and legs safely inside the train. And as always, keep an eye on your little ones.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
As we head into the American wilderness, we'll pass by the dusty desert town of Tumbleweed. And keep your eyes peeled for the runaway mine trains of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Runaway trains. Now I ask you, is that any way to run a railroad? I feel right at home here in the prairies and forests of the American wilderness. These woods haven't changed much since the days when settlers started heading west. Nowadays, rails can carry us safely through the wild, and a trip that used to take months can now be made in just a few weeks. There's plenty of deer, antelope, and elk that feed along the banks of the river. And naturally, plenty of early settlers decided to put down stakes and live here too. Of course, those early settlers weren't the first to make their home in this wild frontier. These native tribes of Plains Indians were living, hunting, and trading for centuries before we ever came along. They were the first to tame the wild horses of the American plains, long before our big old iron horses started chugging through these parts. We're almost out of the woods, folks. We're coming up on the most magical of lands, Fantasyland, a place where any dream can come true. Fly over London with Peter Pan. Set sail on It's a Small World. Take a trip under the sea with the Little Mermaid. Or be our guest at an enchanted feast in the Beast's castle. Whether you're a pixie, a princess, or just an everyday dreamer, there's always something special about Fantasyland. If you've been riding trains as long as this old-timer, you may remember the days when the circus would come to town on the local railway. Well, the circus is here, and it's set up permanent headquarters as the Fantasyland Storybook Circus. This is the place to fly high with Dumbo, or join Goofy on the Barnstormer, a rollicking ride of circus acrobatics and coaster thrills. This station is also your gateway to the rest of Fantasyland and Tomorrowland. Now, please wait until the train has come to a complete stop. Gather your belongings and carry your strollers away from the platform before you start unfolding them. That way we can start loading up for the next leg of our trip.
Welcome to Fantasyland Station, folks. As the train approaches the station, please remain fully seated at all times until the train comes to a complete stop and it gives the all clear to exit. But until then, please remain fully seated. We are not there yet. Please stay seated, folks. We're not there. And we are all clear. Welcome to Fantasyland Station. This is also your closest stop to Tomorrowland and Storybook Circus. Please watch your step as you exit the train. It could be slippery.